Hi everybody. So this week was St David's Day, 1st of March. So St David you'll learn all about when you're going to Cubs, but basically he was the patron saint of Wales. Now St David and Wales is especially known for, their symbols would be daffodils, lots of lovely daffodils starting to show, also leeks, and the other emblem that's on their flag is a dragon. So I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have a go at doing our own dragon this week? And here's mine. So there you can see, it's got a lovely tail there, got 2 wings, 2 big legs, and he's not a very scary dragon, is he? But there you go, that's my dragon. So we're going to have a go at making one of those. So I started off with a toilet roll, inside of a toilet roll tube. If you don't have one, it doesn't matter because I don't have one to do this one with. And I just had a sheet of green card and a sheet of yellow card. You can make your dragon any colour you want, but for some reason, I think green and yellow I'd best stick to. So first of all, you get your big piece of green card, size, or the main colour of your dragon, and you cut it straight down the middle, lengthways, so you end up with 2 long, thin pieces. Now, hopefully you can see this when I lay it out like this. So this was the thin piece of my green card, so it was half a piece. So that was the long piece that I cut off. I then cut that piece in half, and then I cut another side into quarters, into 4. So I've ended up with my long piece, 4 smaller pieces, and 1 half a piece. Don't worry too much about that. You'll figure it out when we get going. You'll be able to see, and you can do it all your own design anyway. Excuse me. So you can use glue, but I've got good old sticky tape, double-sided sticky tape to help me. And because I don't have a toilet roll to roll around, I'm just going to roll around a tube anyway. So I've put some sticky tape on the inside of that, and I'm just going to roll to form my own tube. So there. So that looks just like the inside of a toilet roll anyway, even though I didn't have one. So there's my toilet roll. The next thing I'm going to do with the 2 of the 4 pieces that I cut off, the smaller pieces, I'm going to make the shape of legs, because as you can see, this dragon has got 2 very big legs to stick out there. So here's his legs. I'm just going to put one on top of the other so that both legs will be identical, exactly the same. And I'm just going to draw a picture of what I think his leg's going to look like. So it looks a little bit like that. I'm going to cut that out with my scissors. Zip, 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 zip. And so I've ended up with 2 legs, like that. So what I do now, you obviously need to have the legs facing opposite each other, like little feet. And I'm going to turn one edge of the legs over so that they look like that. They've got like a little crease on them. That crease you can glue, but like I said, I'm going to use tape to stick mine. So I'm just going to make sure my tape goes on there. So you would glue all down that bit where I've just stuck the tape. And I just got to peel the back off. Come on, behave, tape. That's it. And I'm going to put one leg. So I've got the fold at the back, and I want to keep that at the back because I don't want that showing. And I'm going to put one leg right at the side. The legs are really good because they actually help your dragon to stand up as well. And then I just do exactly the same with the other side. So I put a bit of tape on. Get the tape to peel off. And stick that on the other side. So you want it to be about the same distance but opposite. So you've got your legs there. You can see the legs are stuck on there. They'll actually help your tube to stand up as well. Keep that standing there. So the next thing I've got, my dragon has also got wings. So for the other two pieces, again, I'm going to put one on top of the other, and I'm just going to draw a bit of a wing shape. It doesn't have to be exact. So there's my bit of a wing shape, and I'll cut round those. And again, because I've put the two pieces of card together on each other, it means that the dragon will have identical wings to fly with. So there are my two wings. So before I put them on the dragon, I'm going to put some markings on. So I've got a black pen here, and I'm just going to draw like the top of a wing and then a few wing creases in there. So again, same on the other side, top of the wing and a few wing creases. Oh, tried to put the wrong lid on the wrong pen there. So again, I've left the two inside bits plain, and I'm going to fold those back exactly the same way as I did with the legs. So you need to give yourself quite a reasonable bend so that you've got somewhere to put your glue. So again, you've folded those wings. Now the important thing here is to make sure that your wings match. If you were to stick them on that way, they wouldn't match, would they? So you want them to go so that they'll match onto your dragon. So again, good old sticky tape, double-sided. Put these here. Now it's quite a good idea to have two colours in mind for your dragon, but don't worry too much. You can always just colour in. If you have a toilet tube, you can always just colour it in. So the wings need to go fairly near the top, but a little bit more towards the back than the legs went, because the dragon's wings were on its back, not exactly the same. They were further behind than its legs. So we'll just stick this one on. Again, you want them to match up. So now you've got two wings on your dragon. And I should have drawn on my feet a few little marks, kind of for toes or claws. Yeah, just drawn those ones on. Now then, the next thing that I did, I wanted his tummy, but I wanted the tummy to be a different colour. So that's where the yellow comes in. And all I've done with the yellow, I just cut out a shape that looks, I suppose it looks a little bit like a fairy door, but it's upside down. And that bit is going to go on the front part of our dragon. But to make it a little bit more interesting, I'm going to put some lines on. But these lines, I'm going to curve them. So that means they're not going to be straight across. They're going to have a little curve in them. And that helps to make the dragon look like he's got a bit of a tummy. Because he's kind of a cute dragon, our dragon. We don't want a really scary dragon. So there you can see the lines that I've done on. And again, I'm just going to put the double-sided tape on. Now you really take your time with this, guys. And you can really make sure that you do a good job with your colouring in and your sticking. Because if you don't glue everything together and it all falls apart, you'll not be very happy, will you? So I'm putting a couple of pieces of my tape on here, so it's really well stuck. And then I really want it to be in the middle and on the top of my tube. So there you go. Stick that down. So now my dragon has got his tummy. Now I suppose here we should add a couple of arms. So again, I'm going to put a few little claw marks on. Dragons have big fierce claws. I'm not going to do that. I've just put like little claws on my dragon. And again, tape to stick the claws on. there. Just think, guys, some of you will be going back to school as well before long, won't you? Now his arms, I'm just going to put about halfway down. Actually, looking at my original dragon, I think I might have missed his arms off. He's armless. He's an armless dragon. But this one's not. Let's pop this on here. And again, you want it to match. So those are his arms, his front legs on there. What's the next thing I got on mine? A big tail. Now again, the tail I just cut out of the green card, and I just simply cut a shape of a tail with a little triangle on the end, because you always seem to draw dragons' tails with diamond triangles on the end. Now what I'm going to do with his tail, obviously that's going at the back on his bottom bit, but I'm actually going to cut through the card a slit, and the slit is about the same length as my tail. Now I've put a bit of tape on there already, and I'm going to bend my tail. So again, I've got a nice little flap for you to glue or bend or tape. And then I'm going to take this off. So I'm now going to put the tail up through the slot that I just cut. I'm going to keep going until his tail is right in, and then that little flap that I made, I've just used that now to stick down some tape. So not only does his tail go right through the back of the tube, but it's also secure. So that's looking pretty good so far. That's a body, but we need a head, don't we? So how did we do the head? Well, all I did with that, I got a rough idea of what my dinosaur head was going to look like. If you're not sure, you can always go and Google it. Google's a good place. Gives you lots of ideas. And dragons usually had a couple of big horns on their head. You can make your dragon as ferocious or as cute as you like. And I'm just going to cut round my shape, which was a very, very basic shape. And I did think as well that if you wanted, you could add googly eyes to your dragon, but I'm not doing googly eyes as much today. So that's the shape of my dragon head. And because I've got a line of what I've drawn there, I'm going to put that to the back so that the bit that everybody sees will be nice and clear. And then for his face, I just drew, let's have a look. I did a couple of nostrils at the bottom, obviously where your dragon would have his flames coming out of. Then I did a couple of big eyes. So there's 1, 2, and then I did a couple of lines to show that that's his nose. And that's about it. That's about all I did for my dragon face. And then I got another little bit of green card, just a little extra bit, that is going to hold the head in place on the neck. So again, with your glue, you need just a couple of little pieces. One to go on the actual back of the head. And that's that one. So we can stick that one on the back of his head. I'll put it there. So that now is going to hold his head, or her head, in place. And then I put another blob of glue or tape on the inside, because this one is going to attach the head to the tube. Now you want it to stick up a little bit. So you can see there, I've just stuck that dragon's head onto the tube. And that's almost it, apart from, you'll see this dragon is breathing a little bit of fire. And all I did with that, really simple, I just got a tiny piece of yellow. It doesn't have to be a big piece at all. And I just cut lots of jagged bits in it. So it looks like flames coming out of its mouth. Whoops. You don't have to be exact, because obviously flames are pretty random. So I'm just going to cut that like so. So it looks a little bit like a hand. And then I've got a bit of red. And I'm just adding a little bit of red into the centre of the flames, because flames are often shown like that, so that you can see a little bit of red coming out of the flame. And all that's left to do then is a bit more glue or a bit more tape, and you stick some on the flames, and then the flames are going to go on the dragon's mouth. Pull that bit off then. And I think these dragons are really quite good. I do think if I use googly eyes, it might be even better. So I've just stuck his flames coming out of the end of his mouth. And there you go. That's my dragon with his tail. The tail and the legs help him to stand up, or her to stand up. And if you wanted, I suppose it could be a pen holder on the table, or you might decide to put some things in it. It's a little bit stronger if you've got a toilet roll holder to hold it up. But there you go, a little craft for this week. So have a go with that, have fun with it, and next week we'll come back, and next week we might be looking at something special for Mother's Day, because that's coming up, isn't it? So take care, guys, have fun, stay safe, and good luck with your dragons. See you later, bye.